Hi friends, we are going to deal with Indian modern history from 1857 to 1947. The purpose of the lecture is to support students and aspirants who are appearing in the competitive exams like UPSC, TNPSC, CDS, etc. We have divided the topics in different phases so that it will be easier to consume the facts and figures. We divided the phases like 1857 to 1885, that is formation of Indian National Congress. The second phase will be 1885 to 1905, that is Bengal partition. The third video will be 1905 to arrival of Mahatma Gandhi in Indian politics. The next will be non-cooperation movement. The other one civil disobedience movement. The last will be Quit India movement. In the year 1857 was a very important year in Indian modern history, because that was the year India witnessed what popularly called Sipai Mutiny or Indian Rebellion. So Sipai Mutiny occurred in the year 1857 for the various reasons. So we will see now the reason for the 1857 short. Cause for the Sipai Mutiny is use of the immediate fat in the cartridges, that is fat of cow and pig was used for the cartridges, especially in the rifle of army which used, so which triggered the anger of both Hindus and Muslim soldiers. Earlier British policies like doctrine of lapse, subsidiary alliance, then interference in the socio-cultural and religious matters by the British administration also contributed to Sipai Mutiny. The Sipai Mutiny was also called First India's Independent War. It was sporadic, it was spontaneous response to British unfriendly policies towards Indians. There was no proper leadership to lead the Indian mutiny. The first gun was shot by Mangal Pandey in 1857 by 19th Infantry of Bengal 19th Infantry. Mangal Pandey was the part of this infantry. Thereafter, the mutiny occurred in various places. Since there was no leaders, the people of India looked for Bahadur Shah II, who was the last Mughal emperor seated in Delhi. So Bahadur Shah II led the movement, but at the end of the mutiny, British defeated all the rebellions. Then Bahadur Shah II was exiled to Mandela prison in Burma. Then Sipai Mutiny brought an end to British East Indian Company rule in India. This was also a turning point in modern Indian history. The major change was that British Parliament passed the Act, that is Government of India Act 1858, which transferred the power to directly British government from East Indian Company. So thereafter, the Indian rule is called British Raj or Raj. So India brought under direct rule of British Parliament and the government. The Governor General of India has been called Viceroy of British government. The first Viceroy was Lord Canning. The 1861 British Parliament passed another act called Indian Council Act, which gave power to executive council. That is there was an executive council formed to assist Viceroy of India, in which there were 6 non-official members represented by Indians. Usually these members are belong to princely classes who supported British rule. The concept of liberty, equality and justice also introduced to Indian politics. After Sepoy Mutiny, British government was very careful to allow Indians to express their opinion. Moreover, they wanted to consolidate their power in the subcontinent. So they framed their rule in following pillars, what we call it 4 pillars of Indian British rule, like that is Indian civil service, Indian judiciary, Indian army, then Indian educational system. Okay, so in 1857, British government established 3 popular universities: Madras, Calcutta and Bombay. Then they passed Indian Penal Code Act. They also introduced a judicial system which based on British form of judiciary. They were also started Indian civil service, in which Indians were allowed to participate in the administration. Indian army was modernized. They introduced martial and non-martial classes. So there are castes who belong to martial class. At the same time, there are castes who belong to non-martial classes. So Indian army become a more communal and caste oriented. The regiments itself called like Mahar, Rajputana rifles, Mahar regiments, like that. Indian army became a backbone of Indian British administration. Earlier, Indians were allowed to rise up to Subedar rank. Now it's been increased. In the social and political side, if you see that after 1857, there are indigenous associations formed in various parts of India. For instance, in Calcutta, Indian Association formed by Surendranath Banerjee and Anand Mohan Bose in 1876, which replaced Indian League, which founded in 1875. At the same time, in Pune in 1867, Pune Sarvajanik Sabha was formed by Ganesh Vasudeva Joshi, Mahadev Govind Ranade and S.H. Chiplankar. In the south, Madras Mahajana Sabha was formed in 1884, May 1. It is founded by P. Anandacharlu, G. Subramania, and M. Viragavacharya. So these are few associations was a precursor to formation of Indian National Congress. These organizations usually involved in social reforms. At the same time, they were also doing a politics, like they were culminate they are cultivating the nationalistic aspiration in the common people. In the meantime, in 1883, Alan Octavia Hume, so what he otherwise known as A.O. Hume, he was a retired British Indian civil servant. In his open letter to students of University of Calcutta, called for a new political body which represents Indian masses to the British government. In 1885, there was 72 members met at Bombay, which called Indian National Congress. They met on 28th December till 31st December 1885. It was the first Indian National Congress. The first president was W.C. Banerjee, that is Umesh Chandra Banerjee. The first general secretary was A.O. Hume, Alan Octavia Hume. The other important leaders who participated in the Congress: Badruddin Dyabji, Feroz Mehta, Dadabhai Nauroji, Surendranath Banerjee, G. Subramaniam Iyer, then S. Ramasamy Mudaliar, and other etc. Like the Indian National Congress, initially they had a strategy of what we call petition prayer. They were appealing to the British government for having a more representation in the Executive Council of Governor General. So thereafter, in each year, the Congress used to meet in one or other parts of India and discuss the issues related to Indian rules. The second president of Indian National Congress was Badruddin Dyabji. This is the initial time. The Congress had a criticism of like lack of Muslim representation. We have to remember that a modern education among Muslims, that so-called English education in among Muslims, was lesser than Hindu population. In 1875, Sir Syed Ahmad Khan founded Mohammedan Anglo-Oriental College at Aligarh. So this was the first institution, higher education institution for the Muslims. Thereafter, the Mohammedan Anglo-Oriental College became a Aligarh Muslim University, so which is popular in northern India.